He stood there, jaw clenched, hands twisted, eyes frigid. The room was calm, but within him, a conflict raged louder than explosions. No one saw it. No one ever does. On the exterior, he appeared like a guy. Strong, stoic, in control. But inside, he was disintegrating. He had learned how to bury grief so deep that he couldn't locate it anymore. He perfected the skill of smiling while choking. And as his life started to fall apart, marriage, job, health, he didn't seek for help. Because guys don't ask. Men persevere. Men survive. That's what they told him. But now, alone in the dark, he couldn't breathe. And still, the words echoed, "Be a man." But what is a man? A soldier? A provider? A stone wall with no cracks? Or a prisoner confined in a cage constructed of pride and silence? You believe you're free. But every time you conceal your suffering, swallow your tears, or feign strength to escape shame, you tighten the bands around your soul. This isn't simply a speech. It's a conflict. Not with the world, with yourself. Because somewhere in the depths of your mind, you know the truth. You were never taught how to be a man. You were instructed how to perform like one. And that performance is killing you. So now I ask you, are you ready to tear away the mask? Or will you keep dying, just to seem alive? 1. Masculinity as a weapon. Be a man. Sounds like a rallying cry. But in dark psychology, it's a priming command, one that preconditions conduct. It doesn't inspire, it programs. From the minute guys enter the world, society forges a mold with the flames of discipline, violence, and emotional repression. A man is molded not by love but by what he is trained to bear without complaint. The result? He becomes a weapon, sharp, stoic, unyielding, but also chilly, isolated, detached. This is not evolution. It is brainwashing. Studies demonstrate that males are much less likely to seek mental health therapy. Why? Because asking for aid defies the code. Vulnerability means weakness. Weakness means failure. Failure means being less than a man. This creates a terrible paradox. The more a guy strives to be strong, the more damaged he gets within. He'll wear the outfit, flash the grin, shake the hand. But inside, he's bleeding in areas no one sees. And that's precisely what the world demands. Bleed in quiet. Die with dignity. 2. The manipulation of identity. Identity is a battleground, and manhood is the weapon of choice for manipulators. Want to dominate a man? Make him question whether he's enough. Enough of a provider. Enough of a protector. Enough of a leader. Then watch him slide into overcompensation. That's how corporations market premium autos. That's how abusers keep guys quiet. That's how warlords create armies. The insecure guy is the most dangerous man, not because he's evil but because he's trying to prove something. He doesn't fight for justice, he fights for approval. He doesn't lead for others, he leads to avoid feeling tiny. He doesn't conquer the world, he strives to fight the uncertainty inside himself. And what's worse, he never sees it occurring. The deception is too subtle, too firmly established. He feels he's heading toward greatness, but he's slipping into servitude, a slave to a notion that was never his to begin with. Be a man. Translation? Be the man we need you to be to benefit us. 3. Emotional castration. How boys are broken. Let's go back. Picture a little boy, 5 years old, innocent, sensitive. He screams when he's injured. He craves affection. He loves without calculation. Then the indoctrination begins. Stop crying. Don't be a baby. Real men don't cry. Act tough. Man up. Each phrase, each apparently modest correction, is a psychological cut. Little by little, his emotional world is disconnected. He learns that comfort is achieved via stillness. Love is conditional. Affection is weakness. And worst of all, his actual self is undesirable. So what does he do? He adapts. He constructs a mask. He makes armor. He hides. And that armor? It may insulate him from rejection, but it also separates him from intimacy. He'll grow up to become a guy who doesn't know how to show pain when his father dies. A guy who doesn't know how to say, "I love you" without adding "bro," at the end to make it safe. A guy who burns quietly from within until one day he explodes, and no one sees it coming, because no one ever taught him how to bleed out loud. 4. The male myth of invincibility. Dark psychology teaches us something chilling. If you persuade someone that they're indestructible, you make them easier to shatter. That's the contradiction of masculinity. Be strong. Be unbreakable. Be fearless. These aren't virtues. They're landmines, because life will break you. And when it does, you'll have no tools to reconstruct. The guy who feels he must never fall will cover his collapse behind addiction, fury, silence, and violence. He'll drink too much, work too hard, yell excessively loud, sleep too little. He'll wear a facade of control as his soul collapses. And worse, he'll educate his boys to do the same. Thus the cycle continues. Broken men raising broken boys to become broken men, each generation learning the skill of dying without ever asking for help. 5. The war between power and peace. There are two categories of guys in our world: those who pursue power to mute their insecurities, and those who seek peace because they've confronted them. Power seduces. It delivers the illusion of control, status, domination, obedience. Peace, on the other side, requires resignation. It forces you to put down your weapons and confront yourself. Which one do you believe society rewards? They elevate the power-driven man, the CEO who sleeps 3 hours a night, the soldier who feels nothing, the athlete who plays despite discomfort, the billionaire who grins but never sleeps. But they scorn the tranquil man, the one who tears freely, the one who chooses family over fame, the one who runs away from a battle instead of establishing himself. You've been conditioned to assume power is male. But here's the fact dark psychology doesn't want you to see. Peace is the ultimate revolt. Because peace can't be purchased. It can't be controlled. It can't be weaponized. A guy at peace is a man who cannot be influenced. And that scares those who benefit from your agony. 6. Redefining strength, the silent revolution. Let me teach you what genuine strength is. It's a guy sitting with his sadness without going for a drink. It's a parent telling his kid, it's okay to cry. It's a guy choosing treatment over violence. It's going away from affirmation to achieve self-worth in isolation. It's not glamorous. It's not loud. It won't get you applause, but it will save your life. The revolution isn't in conflict. It's in healing. It's about shattering the ties of toxic masculinity and reinventing what it means to be complete. And make no mistake, this is war. A psychological battle conducted not with firearms but with ideals. A struggle between who you were instructed to be and who you were born to become. You want to be a man? Then confront the creatures inside you. The fury, the terror, the embarrassment, the sadness. Don't conquer the world before you've conquered yourself. Conclusion: the quiet uprising. Be a man. No longer a command. Now a question. What type of guy will you be? One shaped by pain? Or one who converts suffering into purpose? One who hides behind silence? Or one who talks hard truths? One who dominates others to establish his worth? Or one who leads others by first taming his own shadow? It's not your fault you were made this way, but it is your obligation to break free. The world doesn't need more real men. It needs more full males. Men who've confronted the abyss and returned back with their hearts intact. Men who've sobbed and didn't drown. Men who've failed and yet risen. Men who bleed out loud in love without fear. So next time you hear that phrase, be a man, smile silently, and comprehend this. Being a guy is not about strength or pride or agony. It's about presence, purpose, and tranquility. And no one, not society, not your background, nor your pain, gets to define it except you.